Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Trey's English Travels. Today we will read another English Engoo article titled "From Noodles to Smartphones: The Story of Samsung." I hope everyone is ready to read along. Please comment any questions down below. We'll get started on the vocabulary section. Word one is venture, a journey, business project, etc., that has risks. Richard Branson's first business venture, when he was still a teenager, was a magazine called Student. Wow, well, who is Richard Branson? If you know, and if you know any other businesses that he has, comment down below. All right, the next word is asset, something valuable that a person or organization owns. Many of the company's assets were sold at auction to help repay the tax debt. Asset. It's an interesting word. Can you think of a word that is opposite to asset and comment below? Next, textile. Any type of woven or knitted cloth. My favorite shop in Istanbul sells rugs, blankets, and a range of other textiles. Istanbul, where is that? Do you know what country Istanbul is in? Comment that down below. Next, mill. A building that contains machinery for making a particular product. My dad helped me get a job at the local steel mill after I decided to leave high school. Can you think of a word that is maybe the same or similar to mill, and comment that down below. Next, to overtake, to become bigger or more successful, important, etc., than someone or something else. Overtaking the United States, China became the world's biggest emitter of carbon dioxide in 2006. Can you use the word overtake in your own sentence? And again, comment down below. And the last word, rank. To be or put someone or something on a list that shows how good, important, etc. they are. Finland has been ranked the world's happiest country multiple times in a row. All right, way to go, Finland. Okay, on to the article now. I will read along. Feel free to pause and read with me. Let's get started. From noodles to smartphones, the story of Samsung. When you think of Samsung, you probably don't think of noodles, fish, or other food items. But the now multi-billion-dollar company got its start in groceries, not tech. In 1938, founder Lee Byung-chul started a business exporting food products made in and around Daegu, Korea, to China. If there are any Korean speakers, please, you can feel free to correct my pronunciation on some of these Korean words. Okay. In Korean, the word Samsung means 3 stars. In fact, all of Samsung logos until 1993 included 3 stars. In the 1950s and 60s, after the Korean War, Lee's company started producing textiles. He even opened what was the largest wool mill in the country at the time. Samsung also offered products and services in other areas, including insurance and retail. In 1969, Samsung started producing electronics, a decision that would eventually lead to it becoming one of the biggest names in tech. Lee and colleagues called the new venture Samsung Electronics to show that it was different from the company's other businesses. The company made black and white televisions at first, and within 2 months it started exporting them to other countries. Over the next decade, Samsung started producing color TVs, refrigerators, calculators, washing machines, and more. Samsung's first mobile phone was called the SH100 and was released in 1988. It was the first mobile phone made in South Korea, although it came 15 years after the world's first ever mobile phone produced by Motorola. Although Motorola was a major competitor at the time, Samsung would eventually overtake it to become one of the world's leading smartphone producers, especially with its Galaxy smartphone series. Today, the company employs over 260,000 people in 74 countries, according to its website. Forbes also included Samsung Group in the top 15 of its 2022 Global 2000 list, which ranks the largest companies in the world based on sales, profits, assets, and market value. All right. Awesome. Very interesting. I did not know this much about Samsung, and I'm guessing the first discussion question is what what is the first what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Samsung? So this question's actually missing that thing. I think what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Samsung? And of course, I think of the Galaxy smartphone series. Next is what did you know about the history of Samsung before reading this article? This question also has an error. This is the first time I've seen two questions kind of have errors. So, what did you know about the history of Samsung before reading this article? I just knew that maybe it started in the 80s. I didn't know that it started back in the 1930s. Do you find it surprising that Samsung used to export food products? Yes, I do. I didn't realize that either. I think of Apple, an American electronics company. The history of Apple started sometime in the late 70s, early 80s, of course, as an electronics company. So I assumed maybe Samsung also started like that, but no, they started as an export food products company. And number 4, do you own any Samsung products? If so, are you happy with them? I don't own any Samsung products. I don't think I've ever owned one. Maybe my first phone, which is the next question actually. My first phone, I think, was a Samsung Katana. It was the competitor to the Motorola Razr. And then this 5th question is, how does the first phone you've ever had compare to the one you have now? Obviously, the Motorola flipping phone, the flip phone, very different than the iPhone that I now have. On to the last section, further discussion. What would you say are the most innovative tech companies in the world today? I think a lot of people would say maybe Tesla is an innovative tech company. Maybe other people would say Apple is innovative, maybe Microsoft. So I don't know. What do you think is the most innovative tech company? Number 2, what industries or businesses would you invest in if you were a billionaire? If I was a billionaire, I would probably maybe just invest in like land or maybe food, because I think people are always going to need, land and food. I think technology always changes, and so it's difficult to invest in some of the right companies because you never know which direction tech will go. Number 3, if you could meet the CEO of any company, who would you choose? I would like to maybe meet Elon Musk. He seems pretty interesting. I watch a lot of his interviews, but I don't know. Who would you want to choose? Who would you like to meet? And number 4, have you ever thought about starting your own business? Yes, I have, and hopefully that this maybe becomes part of that, part of my own business. Number 5, do you know anyone who runs their own company, and what sort of business is it? Yes, I know a couple different people. I have friends who are doctors. They run their own at-home sort of direct primary care. I even had a friend, his first job his full-time job is an engineer, but his small business is pressure washing. So I think businesses can be kind of anything. So what do you think? What do you think about this article? Do you have any questions related to it? And please comment any of your answers down below in the comment section, and I will see you all next time. Bye.